passengers on Pan American Airways DC-4 Flight 914 with more than 50 people on board, along with 6 crew members, were ready to take off at John F. Kennedy Airport in New York on July 2, 1955, bound for Florida.
Gentle passengers, this is the captain of the crew speaking. We welcome you and invite you to fasten your seat belts and to pay attention to guidelines offered by the flight personnel. We will be taking off in a few moments. Estimated time to reach our destination is 37 years. We wish you a comfortable journey.
"37 years? Yes, indeed. It is a mystery that has made the world tremble, since there is no logical explanation that satisfies those who have found out what happened in this mysterious case, in which this plane, in a few minutes after takeoff, disappeared as if by magic. Suddenly, it vanished from the radars without any trace, and in only 1992 it reappeared out of nowhere, and with all the crew members to whom the time had not passed. The investigations. There was not even a single distress call. It seemed as if the air had swallowed it up. The area where it disappeared was over the Atlantic, and at some point it was suspected that it had crashed there. But despite intense search operation, nothing was found, not the slightest piece of the aircraft or any clue as to what happened to it. In view of the ineffectiveness of the investigation, it was officially declared that the 61 passengers suffered an accident, but the plane could not be rescued. Thus the years went by, more than 3 decades, until one unforgettable September 9, 1992, in the city of Caracas, capital of Venezuela, on the radar of the Air Force of that nation, out of nowhere an aircraft began to appear, which did not correspond to any aircraft that had any permit and which appeared just like that, as if it were hidden. The air traffic controller on duty at that time was Officer John de la Corte at the Caracas airport. The most curious thing is that it was heading toward the airport, and in only 10 minutes it appeared in front of the eyes of all the operators who were noticing the matter but thought that maybe it was a mistake until they saw it in person. When the aircraft was close enough, the airport operators noticed that it was an obsolete early commercial aircraft, a McDonnell Douglas DS-4 that did not have turbines like all airplanes, but propellers. They have been replaced decades ago. Much worse the confusing situation when the pilot of the plane was heard on the radio asking,
"Where are we?"
The air traffic controller replied that they were at the Caracas airport and questioned him about their destination, to which the pilot replied,
"We are Pan Am Flight 914 bound from New York to Miami, Florida, with a crew of 4 and 57 passengers on board."
But it was unheard of in every single detail, as it made no sense that a Pan Am flight was diverted 1,700 kilometers from where it was headed, and there was no explanation as to how they had gotten there. The entire control tower was in shock. Most puzzling. The pilot of the aircraft said that his flight was scheduled to land at Miami Airport at 9:45 a.m. on July 2, 1955, at which point the control tower went completely silent. Not to make matters worse, the air traffic control cleared the runway for the plane to land. Joan thought that maybe the pilot had gone crazy, but that was irrelevant. There were people on board that needed to be saved. The ground units were immediately called to help the plane, which had no problem to land. Already being a little more relaxed, John decided to explore the question that was in his mouth since the moment he heard the pilot asking,
"Do you know that today is May 21, 1992?
Which was a big problem because the pilot reacted in a very bad way, saying that they should move away and that they should not approach, that they would leave at that moment. And without waiting for the authorization, he drove the plane to the runway. Then John tried to stop it, but in vain. The plane took off and minutes later disappeared from the radar. No trace of the plane was found, and to this day nobody can explain what happened that morning in Caracas.